Hey everyone, what's up? It's Raya and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe down below so you can keep up with me and my videos that come twice a week on Sundays and Thursdays, and give this video a like down below. Today we have a pretty fun video. In today's video we're going to be talking about adjusting to living alone, because some of you may know, but I moved out on my own in August of 2020. I literally moved into my apartment August 1st. This is my first time ever living alone. I had like a small period of time where I lived alone, but it was like a month or two and I would stay at my friends all the time, so I don't even count that. But I thought it would be a fun video to make, to talk about how I have adjusted to living alone, because it hasn't been easy, that's for sure. Especially the beginning was very, very, very hard for me personally, because I'm a type of person that loves to be around people. I love to talk to people, especially like face-to-face interactions are just my favorite, especially with friends. All through college I lived with friends or my boyfriend, so I always had someone around, and not having someone around all the time is kind of hard. So we'll just get right into the video and my few tips of how to adjust better to living alone. Okay, so my first tip is to have structure to your life. It's more like having a schedule that isn't super strict. Like, you don't have to be like, I have to do this by 7 and then this by 9 and then this by 11. No, it doesn't have to work that way. But keeping yourself like in a structured lifestyle will allow you to wake up at a certain time. It doesn't even necessarily have to be like really early. It can be like 9, 10 if that's what you like, but just waking up at a certain time so you don't allow yourself to just get used to sleeping in and staying in bed all day. Like, really make yourself add some type of wake up time and then some type of routine throughout your day. So it's kind of easy if you're living alone and you have a job that you have to go to, which was my case. I have a job that I go to every single day and I have to be there by 7:30. That allowed me to have structure to my day. So I'll wake up at 6 and then I'll be ready by 7 and then I'll leave by 7:05. Just having those times can make you feel more motivated, more productive, and like you have a purpose. And I guess that's what like the whole structure thing is in general, is like having a purpose to things that you're doing, and that's why you have certain times to get things done. But also don't like overextend yourself or overbook yourself or be like way too strict, because then it's kind of taking like the fun out of life. At least that's what I would think. Because if you're too worried about like this time, and then things don't get done the way that you planned, then you're gonna be upset. Just have like a loose schedule in mind, and then if things like don't work out the way that you thought they were going to, don't get upset about it, because that's just kind of how life works in general. My next thing is to embrace getting to know yourself more, because before this, like, of course I knew some things about myself, but living alone will help you grow like exponentially. I promise. I feel like I've grown so much more in these past 5-ish months than I did in like years, because you have so much time alone. And I moved alone during a pandemic nonetheless, so I had a lot more time alone. Just embrace getting to know yourself more. Figure out what you like to do, figure out what you like to eat, figure out what your values are, where you think you want your life to go. And don't like stress about those things. Just like think about them and listen to yourself. And something that helps me do that is journaling, of course, and I did a whole video on journaling. I can put it right here, but journaling has helped me figure out what I like, what I don't like, where I think I want to go, what I'm grateful for, maybe some things that I don't really want in my life anymore. And it's just such a great opportunity to really figure yourself out and like build a relationship with yourself, which is definitely like the most important. My whole life I was surrounded by people all the time, because I had family, obviously, I had siblings in college, I lived with people, I would see people all the time, and then all of a sudden, bam, I move. I can't go see people because we can't be around people, and it's hard. It's hard at first, and sometimes it's really hard to like embrace the relationship with yourself, but it's like the best thing that you can do because you'll build like your self-confidence, you'll know your worth, you'll embrace hobbies, find new hobbies. I like literally don't even know what else to say about it because I was so scared. I was terrified to live alone because I didn't like being alone before. I really didn't. I did not like time with myself, but that's because I don't think I embraced wanting to know me more. So I would say just really strengthen that relationship with yourself and really take the time to figure out who you are and who you want to be and working towards that ideal self. Also, if you are feeling lonely, especially at first or even whenever, because loneliness can happen to anyone, even if you're around people, but living alone, it can happen sometimes. And speaking from personal experience here, call your friends, call your family. Don't isolate yourself, especially if you can help it. I have been doing like video chats with my friend Holly over dinner, and that's been fun because we'll like cook together, or we'll sit and just eat together, or we'll just call each other on the phone and just talk for an hour or so, and it really makes the time pass by, and it really makes you appreciate them more and feel like they're here, but they're obviously not here. And keeping in touch with family is very important, especially if you just moved out. You were used to seeing them all the time, so don't let that relationship with them struggle or feel like you shouldn't call them or can't call them because you're trying to figure it out on your own. I definitely have like a bad habit of letting weeks go by where I haven't called my mom and then I feel terrible, and then once I call her I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so nice. Why did I not call her earlier? Why did I push this off? Why did I forget? Why didn't I make this a priority? Make talking to people you care about a priority too. And like I said, it all comes with balance because you do need alone time, you do need time talking to others, you do need time seeing others, but make keeping your relationships that you had before a priority because talking to them will make you feel better, especially if you aren't feeling the best. And going along with loneliness, I think figuring out when you feel most lonely can be a very, very good tool. So I have realized that I kind of feel most lonely when I come home at the end of the day. And I would just walk in and it would be empty and quiet, and it would honestly make me feel pretty sad. Now I will turn on like a TV show or turn on music and start dancing around while I'm cooking dinner or while I'm doing laundry or cleaning or any of that. And I think, at least for me, I forgot about music because I never listened to it very much in college or anything, but having like a playlist that you really like and music that you really like and things that you can just sing to, dance to is really nice. Or if you figure out like in the mornings you're lonely, you can try to figure out a FaceTime breakfast with a friend that's on a similar schedule to you. Just figuring out when you feel lonely and figuring out tactics to help you feel less lonely are very, very good. One thing that has helped me more than I even imagined it could, and I'm just so grateful that I have, is having a pet. Nyx has been one of the best things for me living alone. Really consider getting one, and cats are so easy. You like clean their litter box, you feed them twice a day. Pretty easy. She makes me feel less lonely because it's like another being here, and I'm not gonna lie, I talk to her all the time. I will walk in the door and I'll be like, Nyx, and just like she'll run to the door, she'll come greet me, she'll meow at me. She's a pretty unique cat, that's for sure, because she'll like literally have a conversation with me. If I talk to her, she'll talk back to me. But having her around makes me feel like purposeful because I have to take care of her. She can't take care of herself, and she also just loves spending time with me. Having a pet just makes you feel so good, gives you a reason to get up if you're having a hard time wanting to get out of bed. She makes me want to get out of bed so I can spend time with her and I can take care of her. There's just some very soothing aspect to having something to take care of. She's literally one of my best friends because she's just always around, always knows how to make me feel better. On my bad days, she'll just do the funniest thing and that'll just make me smile. I just don't even want to imagine life without her anymore. She's the best, and she's so easy. Getting a pet was one of the best things for me. And something that I haven't really been able to take advantage of, but if you are moving alone in not 2020 to 2021, then having like a sense of community, going out to local events, those can really help you just find your place where you live and find people that live where you are. So even though I can't really go out to community events because they're just not happening right now, I have gotten to know one of my neighbors, and she always says, like, if you ever need anything, she said anything, you can just come find me, I have your back. And even just having that one person here feels really good. And luckily I have been able to work through this, and I work in person since I work in a hospital, and I've met people through my work that I know if I needed anything, they would be there for me. During the holiday season, I had one of my coworkers say to me, if you can't go home to see your family, you're coming to my house. And just finding a little place in the community that you are can really help you adjust to living alone and not feeling alone, because you know there are people around that if you want to go get coffee, or if you want to go for dinner, or just want to talk to, or just need milk, I don't know, that they'll be there for you. Something that I definitely haven't done the best at and that I should do better at is like keeping your space clean. And I guess this really depends on the person, because clutter doesn't get to me until it does. I know, seems weird, but my boyfriend, he'll come over and just be like, we gotta get this done, we gotta get this done. He'll do the dishes when I haven't done them yet, which I'm very thankful for because he's amazing, and I'm very glad that he does that for me. And obviously I do things for him too, so it's like a give and take type of relationship, but I really appreciate that he does that. But even yesterday, he motivated me to put my laundry away because I didn't want to. I hate hanging up clothes, and he was like, just do it, and you'll be happy. He was right. I hate to admit it. Don't tell him I said that, but keeping a clean environment can really help you feel good, because then it like unclutters your head when there isn't clutter around you. So another great thing about living alone is that you can try new things. There will be no judgments. Nobody's even gonna know if you tried it, and it's all up to you to decide what you want to try. So once I moved in alone, I started posting twice a week because I really prioritize filming, editing, creating. It really just became a thing that I wanted to try more. Once I lived alone, I was like, I have so much more time and I really love doing this, so I should really adventure into doing it more and like figuring out more behind the scenes. And you can do that too. You can just pick up new things. Just try new things, and don't worry if you don't like it, because then you don't have to do it again. And nobody even knew you did it. So if it's something that you're like a little embarrassed about, it doesn't matter. You're by yourself. It's just like embracing yourself and like what you want to do. So really just explore new things and figure out what you really like to do, maybe things you don't like to do, so then you're like, oh, well, at least I tried it, and then you don't have to do it again. Also, when you're living alone, just try to look at the positives of living alone. It's so easy sometimes to focus on the negatives of literally every aspect of your life if you're like me sometimes, but try finding the positives. This is time for personal growth. This is time to explore your passions. This is time to recharge, because you come home and you don't have to worry about being in a certain mood when you're around people. And it can boost creativity, imagination, just like really get you into the flow in like an artistic way. It's all about growing, truly. So it's easy to see the negatives of it, like, oh, I'm alone, but really try to like twist it in a positive way and see the positives in it all. Another thing is to like find nature and like things you like to do outside, because it's so easy when you live alone to like coop yourself into your little space and not leave. But it's still important to go outside. It's still important to be out in the real world too. Go walk around your neighborhood. Go find a basketball hoop and shoot basketballs. I don't know what other people like to do. I'm just speaking from personal things that I like to do. But really find things that you like to do outside of your apartment too, because it's so easy to coop yourself up in here and to not go outside and to only leave when you like have to. But find times to leave when you want to. And my last little tip, which definitely isn't all the tips to living alone, if you like wanted a part 2, I could do that, but My last tip is to give yourself time. It takes time once you live alone and to embrace it. So give yourself time and embrace it. Because honestly, if you're living alone, there's probably a reason that you're living alone. My reason was I got a new job. I had to move to a new city. In the first month or two, it was pretty hard for me, especially before I got Nix. She makes it 10 times easier. I'm not even exaggerating. But give yourself time. Don't be so harsh on yourself. It's not gonna happen overnight unless you're a person that loves a lot of alone time. But previously, I was not a person that loved a lot of alone time. So I had to be patient with myself and allow myself the time to grow and to get used to it. So don't feel like, why don't I like it yet? Because it will happen, and it will happen on its own time. And these are things that I'm just saying that I wish I would have heard myself. So allow the process to happen the way that it needs to happen. It's all a personal journey, and it will get better, and realize that like this is the situation you're in, and just find like your groove in it all. So there are a few tips on living alone and my personal experience of it all. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. It's a video I enjoyed to film because it's a personal experience. It's something that I've lived, and it's something I like to talk about because I know sometimes it can be hard and you just want some advice or just want to hear that it'll be okay, and I hope this video does that for someone. So like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. Give this video a like down below, subscribe down below to keep up with me and my channel, my videos that I post twice a week, and comment down below. Do you live alone? Do you live with a significant other? Do you live with friends? I would really like to know because I know everyone's in like their own situation, and I will see you guys in the next one on Sunday. Bye!